We are giving a voice to people who are trying to keep their heads above water. It is a frankly desperate tale of ordinary people leading extraordinary lives in ways they can't possibly have imagined in one of the richest nations on earth. One, already in full-time work, can't cut back anymore. Another has no hot water to bath his cherished baby daughter and has to walk miles to do so at his mother-in-law's because he can't afford the bus fare. And yet another, a cleaner who leaves for work in the dark before dawn, cannot even afford to toast the bread she eats. To watch her crying in fear and desperation will be, for many, truly a moment of national humiliation.
On dark, pre-dawn streets illuminate the lights of those whose lives depend on hard work.
How many days a week are you doing this?
5.
5 days a week?
Yeah.
It's early, every time this time of morning? Early starts?
Yeah, no, I've been here since about 4:20.
Liz Wright is 65 years old. She has known tough times before.
You always worked?
Yeah, I need to bring money in.
But nothing quite like this, where her bills are too big to bear, her wage as a cleaner barely buying the basics.
Toilet rolls once a month. The next month it'll be the soap powder, and the next month it'll be the coffee, where once upon a time you just went out and bought.
On good weeks, Liz gets the bus into work. On bad weeks, she has to walk, unable to afford the daily £4 fare. Today, she has the money, but the good weeks occur less often now. We meet Liz after her shift. The big worry, keeping her awake at night, is her new energy bill, which has just doubled.
You go in your account and it's £253 the one of a month.
Can you afford that?
Where am I going? Where I can't know.
Are you worried about any of this?
Yeah, really worried. Yeah. I don't want to burden my family. My daughter comes once a fortnight for something to eat, and she has to bring the food.
What change have you already made to try and cut back?
I've changed everything. I don't use my cooker very often. I don't have a toaster because I always use my... so it's a luxury to have a piece of toast.
Really?
Really. Is it food banks next? Will I be able to keep the house? Because then I'm going to have to explain I've got no money and I can't live. That's not funny.
I'll give you a second.
Thanks.
This is the Meadowell estate in North Shields. We've spent time here meeting people who've lived here all their lives and some whose lives are just beginning. Fauna was born 8 weeks ago, cradled by doting dad Joseph, his first child.
I know.
He and his girlfriend knew money would be tight, but just as their daughter arrived, a chronic pain condition forced Joseph to give up his job.
How tight has the money situation been for you guys?
It's been pretty hard. You run out of money to try and get the formulas and stuff like that you need, especially when you're on universal credit.
But that's not all. They moved into this flat 4 weeks ago to find the gas supply switched off. The previous tenant had stopped paying their bills.
That's just freezing.
Yeah, no gas means no hot water, no heating.
The supplier won't turn it back on, new suppliers aren't taking on new customers, and this family are enduring the consequences.
We have to keep her wrapped up with her thick blanket just to try and keep her from not having a face cold and stuff. It just gets to a point where you don't know what to do anymore.
All they have is this electric heater donated by family.
We have to put it in whichever room that the baby's in just to keep her warm.
But it's also, what can that do for an entire flat?
And then there's the lack of any hot water.
Ice cold.
So what are you doing with the baby, to bathe the baby?
And we have to go up to my partner's mum's.
How far away is your mother-in-law's?
Probably about, walk-wise, 45 minutes to an hour. It's like £4.70 each just to get the bus fare, which when you're on strict money, it's really hard, especially if you're doing it, if you have to constantly go up just to, you know, be able to keep your daughter clean.
Right.
More children are growing up in poverty in the northeast than anywhere else in England. The current economic crisis threatens to make it worse, hitting families who usually manage.
It's hard to overstate just how scared some people are right now. That fear of simply not knowing where the money's going to come from to pay for the bills, to pay for the food that they need. And I think it's also the fear that this could just be the start, that it could get much worse than this.
I worry about energy prices, fuel prices, cost of living. It's just, I've never felt this anxious or this scared about the future ever.